Tito is another man I've known a long time ago. He's a solid pro-lifer. I'm very, very at ease with endorsing a man like him. I'm praying and I'm hoping he already knows too the realities of his political position. I hope he backs out too. And that could change the whole structure. That could completely demolish the Sara Bongbong Tandem.
That was Vice Presidential Aspirant Buhay Party List Representative Lito Atienza. He remains unable to campaign due to his medical condition. He's now considering the possibility of dropping out of the race.
Should he do so, he wants Senator Manny Pacquiao to be paired with Senator Tito Sotto. He said a Maso tandem has a better chance against the front runners. But in order for that to happen, he said Sotto's running mate, Senator Ping Lacson, should withdraw from the race. Time for today's biggest headlines. I'm Gretchen Ho.
I'm Robbie Alampay. You're watching The Big Story. While his running mate is already floating the possibility of exiting the vice presidential race, Senator Manny Pacquiao said he is still sticking with Congressman Lito Atienza as his running mate.
The lawmaker, who is still recovering from his knee surgery, is taking things a step further. He puts forward the name of Senator Tito Sotto as a possible replacement. Mon Gualvez gives us the big story.
Sabi ko, Lord, teach me, give me strength.
With a little over a month left before Election Day, Senator Manny Pacquiao is still flying solo in his campaign trail. Since he kicked off his bid, his running mate, Buhay Party List Representative Lito Atienza, has not attended any of their sorties. But this is understandable as Atienza is still recuperating from his knee replacement surgery. Atienza, however, seems to be floating the idea of withdrawing and pairing Pacquiao with a different VP bet, Senator Tito Sotto.
Tito is another man I've known a long time ago. He's a solid pro-lifer. I'm very, very at ease with endorsing a man like him.
He said the Maso tandem can compete with the leading Uni-Team of Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Sara Duterte.
We will earn the respect of the whole world if we have a president like Manny Pacquiao. We will hear no end of insults and negative statements coming from the world to elect Bongbong Marcos president.
But in order for this to happen, he said Sotto's running mate, Senator Panfilo Lacson, should also pull out from the presidential race.
I'm praying and I'm hoping Ping, he already knows too the realities of his political position. I hope he backs out too. And that could change the whole structure. That could completely demolish the Sara Bongbong Tandem.
But Pacquiao said he's sticking with Atienza for his running mate and will continue to campaign for him as he deals with his medical condition.
Kami ni Soto, kasi macho black nga kami, nag-uusap kami regular kahit na hindi sa politics. Nag-uusap kami. So, ako naman ay napakabait ni SP Soto. No? Pero, ang aking vice president ay nandyan pa si Lito Atienza. Kasi ang tiwala ko kay Lito Atienza nandyan din.
For News 5, Mon Gualvez, We Are One News.
What happens to the Pacquiao-Atienza tandem now that Vice Presidential candidate Lito Atienza has expressed his plans to leave? That big question and more with Senator Atienza's running mate himself, presidential candidate Manny Pacquiao. Senator Pacquiao, welcome to The Big Story.
Thank you. Thank you po.
Senator, bago po tayo mag-usap ng politika, mangungumusta po muna. Kamusta po ba si Mayor Lito Atienza?
Ay, ang aking BP nagtitherapy na, at least nakakatayo na siya, nakalakad na paunti-unti. So sabi ko, huwag niya munang biglain, huwag niyang persahin. Diyan lang muna siya, ako lang muna iikot.
And we wish him well. Sana po gumaling na si Mayor Atienza. Pero dito po tayo sa mga binitawan niya. Para pong nagpaparinig na siya o kung hindi, nagpa siya na gusto niya o handa na siyang umatras. Ano pong reaksyon niyo doon?
Ay aatras lang naman siya, yung marinig natin yung statement niya, aatras lang naman siya kung mapag-isipan ni Senator Ping Lacson na mag-give way din at kaming dalawa ni Soto ang magsasama. Yun lang yung idea lang, kumbaga yun lang yung condition para siya mag-give way, umatras. At pero hindi pa naman kami nag-uusap ng lahat, no? Hindi pa kami nag-uusap nila SP Soto, sila Lacson dahil tuloy, ang pagkakaalam ko, tuloy naman yata si Ping Lacson sa pagtakbo.
Pero nabanggit nyo nga po itong macho block na talaga namang nag-uusap din kayo nila Senator Soto at Senator Ping Lacson. Kahit kailan po ba, hindi ito pumasok sa mga usapan ninyo?
Kami naman na may understanding naman kaming mga grupo at hindi naman kami nagkakaroon ng away o anuman, hindi pagkakaunawaan.
Okay, maraming salamat po, Senator Pacquiao. That was presidential candidate Manny Pacquiao. In response to House Deputy Speaker Lito Atienza's recent pronouncement, Senator Ping Lacson rejected the call to withdraw from the presidential race to pave the way for a Pacquiao-Soto tandem. Gretchen, give us more details.
Well, Robbie, aside from rejecting the call, Lacson also slammed Atienza for being rude in making such a proposal. The senator and independent presidential candidate reiterated that he will not back out from the race and will finish the elections alongside Soto. Lacson added that Atienza should go back to school and study good manners and right conduct.
That's kapastusan to say the least, ano? For somebody like him, na mas matanda pa sa akin, na magsasabing mag-back out ang isang kandidato without even consulting, that's insulting.
Meanwhile, when asked about being adopted by Pacquiao as his vice presidential bet, should Atienza withdraw from the race, Soto said that he is humbled and will certainly appreciate such a move. These are the other big stories tonight. Senator Kiko Pangilinan sits out the grand rally in Eastern Samar. That way, his running mate VP Leni Robredo can enjoy the support of more local officials. Events host Bianca Valerio speaks up on social media about how she experienced sexual assault in the hands of an official of a popular mobile application. And a sneak peek into the highly anticipated wedding of Korean power couple and crash landing on new stars Hyun and Ye-Jin. These big stories after the break.
You're still watching The Big Story. I'm Robbie Alampay.
And I'm Gretchen Ho. President Rodrigo Duterte is now in Cebu to join the grand rally of ruling party PDP-Laban. While there were no assurances from the party, some expect the president to finally endorse a presidential aspirant.
But is that the case? Let's find out from Maricel Halili, who is monitoring what's happening in Cebu. We're speaking to her over the phone. Mase, may endorsement ba?
Hi, Robbie and Gretchen. I am here in Lapu-Lapu City in Cebu, waiting for the arrival of President Duterte. As early as 2 in the afternoon, a lot of Cebuanos are already here at the venue, waiting for the senatorial candidate of PDP-Laban and as well as President Rodrigo Duterte. But before coming here, he had an earlier event also here in Cebu. And there, he already announced that he will not be endorsing any presidential candidate and he will remain neutral. So once he arrives here at the venue of the PDP-Laban campaign rally anytime now, we're just expecting that he will be endorsing the senatorial candidate of PDP-Laban. All PDP-Laban senatorial candidates are already here except former Secretary Casvesiones. But some guest candidates were also present, like former Secretary Harry Roque and former Senator Gringo Onasan. As we all know, Robbie and Gretchen, Cebu is a vote-rich country. And if you recall, back in 2016 presidential elections, actually, President Duterte won in this area. So it is very important for candidates to actually come here and sell their platform to the voters. Gretchen, Robbie?
Maraming salamat, Maricel Halili. 38 municipal mayors of Lanao del Sur showed up at the Uni-Team's rally in the province to show their support for the Marcos Duterte tandem.
Lanao del Sur governor also promised presidential bet Ferdinand Marcos Jr. that they are a solid Uni-Team country. Marlene Alcaide with the report.
It was an eventful morning for Uni-Team supporters in Marawi, Lanao del Sur on Thursday. The new capital complex was brimming with supporters. But the crowd turned rowdy as some tried to force their way in. In the end, many went home after failing to enter the venue. Meanwhile, despite a number of Mindanaoans pushing for the Rosa or Robredo Sara tandem, loyalists say the Lanao del Sur is a solid Uni-Team country. Provincial Governor Mamintal Adyong assured presidential bet Ferdinand Marcos Jr. that Lanao del Sur would deliver votes and carry the Uni-Team. Aside from this, 38 municipal mayors showed up at the event to show support.
Para sa amin dito sa Lanao del Sur, walang epekto sa amin yun. Kung kaya naming ibigay lahat ang boto, kay BBM gagawin namin yun. Alam naman natin, ang PFP at ang Lakas, pumirma na sila ng kasunduan na dadali nila si BBM from PFP and Mayor Inday Sara from Lakas CMD. At hindi lang yun. Nagustuhan natin doon sa programa ng ating ni BBM and Sara yung pagkakaisa.
Marawi has some 79,000 registered voters while Lanao del Sur has almost 700,000.
Lahat mahalaga sa akin, bawat boto mahalaga sa akin. Kaya kahit saan may kailangan na makatulong, kung may magpapahayag ng suporta, ay talaga tutukan namin.
As for Marcos Jr., he hopes to win this time in the province as he lost here during the 2016 elections. His running mate Sara Duterte, on the other hand, was not present during the Marawi campaign sortie. Instead, she made the rounds in Bataan. For News 5, Marlene Alcaide, we are One News.
From real love to real life. Crash landing on new couple Hyun and Ye-Jin are finally married.
The Korean superstars have tied the knot today in a private wedding ceremony in Seoul, South Korea. A few hours before the ceremony, the couple's agencies have released the newlyweds' official wedding portraits via their Instagram pages, and their fans couldn't be more giddy.
And as the so-called wedding of the century generated buzz online, the hashtag The Binjin wedding dominated the country's top trends. The hashtag CLOY episode 17, meanwhile, garnered almost 40,000 tweets as fans imagined the wedding as the continuation of their character stories. The couple first confirmed their relationship in January 2021. They announced their engagement February this year.
Nakakatuwa naman makita sa gitna ng mga stressful na balita ng eleksyon itong dalawang nagmamahalan.
Kaninang umaga ko pa sinusubaybayan niya ang story niya, whether I liked it or not.
The wedding? Crush mo ba siya?
Hindi, may mga nanonood kasi sa bahay na hindi ako lubayan na bawat tweet, bawat Instagram post, ina-update ako.
Sa'yo.
Updated ako diyan.
Ako, that love story gives me hope. Kasi ano na sila, di ba? Late 30s na sila.
Oo.
Well, we're happy for them. Congratulations to Hyun and Ye-Jin. Well, time for another quick break when we return. To pave the way for more supporters, Senator Kiko Pangilinan sits out the grand rally in Eastern Samar so running mate Lenny Robredo can enjoy the full support of local executives. And events host Bianca Valerio warns women on social media not to fall prey to an unnamed official of a mobile app who sexually assaulted her. These and other big stories after the break.
Still watching The Big Story, I'm Robbie Alampay.
And I'm Gretchen Hall. Senator Kiko Pangilinan is now speaking up as to why he opted to forgo a grand rally in Eastern Samar. He said that he would rather sit out the sortie to ensure local officials full support for Lenny Robredo.
Today, their tandem is in Lanao del Norte to continue their campaign trail. Let's get more details and updates with mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro, who's reporting to us live from Lanao del Norte. Jacob, first off, is Senator Kiko part of the campaigning in Lanao? And did he come up on stage to greet their supporters?
Hi, Robbie. Hi, Gretchen. And yes, to answer your question, Senator Kiko Pangilinan did actually come up on stage. And he was very, very giddy about it. You know, he was making jokes about how his wife, Sharon Cuneta, megastar Sharon Cuneta, is still obsessed with him, and how people saw him in person, said that he was good looking and things like that. And he was, aside from those small jokes that he did, he was giving out his message about food security and the fight against hunger and his proposed agricultural progress. Gretchen, Robbie?
Jacob, going back to VP Lenny's grand rally in Eastern Samar, what really happened there and what did Senator Kiko have to say about the exclusion, if we may call it that?
Yes, actually, we may call it that, Gretchen and Robbie. because even Senator Kiko Pangilinan said that he got wind that the local officials will only endorse Vice President Leni Robredo, and he said in order for it to push through, for no awkward situation to happen that would make it not push through, he said he wanted to give way and not attend. But then he did give out his message again about food security. He said his message about food security and fight against poverty and agricultural progresses was his message to the people. But how exactly will the votes of Vice President Leni Robredo and the endorsements that she gets will also convert into Kiko Pangilinan votes and endorsements? Well, Kiko Pangilinan had this to say.
We're just doing what we have done and will continue to do what we're doing. The people are coming out in tens of thousands. Mararamdaman ng politiko yun, kaya nga ini-endorse na si VP. Pagka mas lalo nilang maramdaman, dadating din ang panahon, baka ako na rin ang i-endorse nila. So, tingnan natin, marami pang mangyayari.
Jacob, let's talk about Lanao del Norte rin. No? How important is this province to the campaign of Vice President Leni and Senator Kiko?
Well, Gretchen, Robbie, it might not be one of the top 10 or even top 20 vote-rich cities or provinces in the country, but Vice President Leni Robredo has always said that whether the place has a lot of votes or not, she wants to be able to go out to those people and send her message and to be able to relay her message. Although it might be a challenge for Robredo because the Demapora political dynasty and the PDP-Laban Lanao del Norte chapter has given their strong and full support to the Uni-Team, which these political clans and parties hold a lot of positions, such as the governor, mayors, and congressmen. But Robredo is banking on the many, many projects that she has done in Lanao del Norte and the many times that she visited and connected with the constituents here. And also, Robredo might not have gotten a lot, but she did get one, which is the Kaoswagan City Mayor, who said that he really appreciated, or they really appreciated, the many projects that Robredo did in the province and in their city, such as the 2 million financial aid that was given to them. And of course, we could also remember that back in 2016, Robredo did win in Lanao del Norte, even though it was just 1,000 over Marcos's votes. And for tomorrow, Gretchen and Robbie, Vice President Leni Robredo and Senator Kiko Pangilinan will be visiting Lanao del Sur and the still ruined Marawi City. And they will visit one of the few housing projects that was established there, which was Vice President Leni Robredo's sustainable Angat Buhay housing program. And then she will have a rally there later that day. And we could also remember that back in 2016, she defeated Marcos in Lanao del Sur by over 100,000 votes. Gretchen, Robbie?
Maraming salamat, Jacob. That was mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro reporting live from Lanao del Norte.
No. No means no. And no doesn't mean, please convince me.
Filipino-Taiwanese host Bianca Valerio took to Instagram to share her story about being sexually assaulted last year in a private event. No name was mentioned, but she hinted that the attacker was working for a popular mobile application.
And I guess just because I was kind to you, you probably thought that it was okay to take advantage of me, to manipulate me, to isolate me, to physically hurt me, and to sexually assault me.
Valerio also revealed that it was only later on that she found out she wasn't his first victim. Even worse is that the sexual predator was not even invited to the party because the visitors knew what kind of man he was. Despite this, she lamented that no one bothered to tell her.
2021.
In an interview with 1PH, sa totoo lang, Valerio said that she is speaking up for herself and to other victims of sexual assault.
Every single moment felt so long and sobrang bigat na niya. Your silence are these criminals' power.
As of now, Valerio's legal counsel is preparing a case against a sexual predator. For News 5, MJ Marfori, we are One News.
It's terrible what happened and what Bianca told on her Instagram video. But I salute her for being brave enough to speak up for not just for herself but also for the other victims.
And like she said, diba, silence is a weapon for people who are hiding other things. And you're absolutely right.
And it also probably will help her a lot in terms of being able to deal with that experience herself on her own. And we hope that we get to the bottom of things. Well, that wraps up today's big story. Catch us again tomorrow at 8 p.m. on Signal Channels 8 and 250.
Please like our Facebook page, One News. For more in-depth analysis, visit our webpage, onenews.ph. Mask on.
Wash hands.
And stay safe, Philippines. I'm Robbie Alampay.
And I'm Gretchen Ho. We are One News. Have a good evening.